Hello, my family. This is Dr. Life, the father of the living, in the business of saving lives, a first responder, responding to man-made disasters. I'm out here at Heart of Florida. Heart of Florida has an emergency. I'm here at Heart of Florida Regional Medical Center because there is a man-made disaster emergency going on called violence. There's a man-made disaster going on called poverty. There's a man-made disaster going on called the war in the family, the destruction of the family unit. It's an emergency. There's a man-made disaster going on. Man-made, artificial, totally unnatural. And the only people that you could call in this state of emergency is the first responders. Baymac Watch, be about your mankind at all costs. Baymac Watch saves. You can't call these ambulances. I know. I'm what you call a living witness. A living witness. But for anything to be true, you have to have two witnesses. So for anything to have any validity, you have to have two witnesses. So I'm here in the heart of Florida, reaching out to my oldest son, the divine shadow. Xavier, the divine shadow. Because we have a gold mine, son. We're sitting on a gold mine. We have the ability to give the antidote to the violence. We have the ability to give the antidote to the man-made disaster of poverty. We have the ability, my son, to be living witnesses and distribute the antidote for the destruction of the family. We have the ability to give the antidote for the war on nature and health, which constantly, perpetually ends up landing us in these places. You're looking at the heart of Florida. The word says, the King of Kings, who we was made in his image, says, a merry heart doeth good like a medicine. A merry heart doeth good like a medicine. But a broken spirit drieth the bones and kills. A merry heart doeth good like a medicine. So in the artificial man-made war on the family unit, the women and the children are targeted. The children are targeted daily with the violence in the streets. For the least of these, and this whole system that we have the ability to give the antidote for, my son, listen to me. I'm already a living witness. That the heart pumping in the chest of the mother of the living Your mother is a mother of the living. America, they have surrounded us with all of these fake, man-made disaster mothers. You have Lady Liberty. Lady Liberty, pagan goddess, #1, out there off the shores of New York. You have blind justice in the courts. You have blind justice in the courts. Her name is Dyke or Themis. Either name. The lady holding the scales in the courts, the female goddess is called Dyke or Themis. Themis in Greek mythology was the personification of a divine or natural law order. Themis in Greek mythology, that's telling you right there. In Greek mythology was the personification of divine or natural law and order and justice. Dyke in Greek mythology. See, that's the problem. We not Greek. And we don't have their myths. We don't study their myths. Because a myth is just that, a lie, made up. So if Themis is justice for the Greeks, she's injustice for everybody else. That's not the mother of the living. Eve was called the mother of the living. African Nubian Eve was called the mother of the living. There's only one mother of the living. And the Creator said, I will give you the desires of your heart. We talk about the heart of Florida. My son, I've taken a vow and an oath to give the Mary Heart medicine to keep the hearts of the mothers of the living pumping. All I need is another witness to touch and agree, to validate it. I challenge you, my son, to touch and agree. I challenge you, my son, Divine Shadow. I challenge you to complete the antidote. And here, standing in the anti-Bible belt. That's right. If Themis is their goddess of justice in the U.S., based off of Greek mythology, then you have to ask the question, which version of which Bible are you referring to when you call this the Bible Belt? We already know it's the anti-creator Bible, so it's the anti-Bible Belt. In DC, you have another goddess, Columbia. They surrounded you with the mothers of the dead. And then they give the mothers of the living broken spirits that dry the bones and kills. And then when you, my sons and daughters, follow after the examples of these Greek mythology, Roman mythology, Roman pantheon, Greek pantheon, fake false goddesses who are only fake copies of the mother of the living. We in the heart of Florida, challenging my son, my daughters. We coronating my son in April. But I'm challenging all of the millennials in your age group, all of the young people that grew up with my son, your cousins, your brothers, your friends, your classmates. Challenging y'all to touch and agree and give out this antidote. We're making the antidote accessible to the people. Heart of Florida, This whole week is dedicated to the mother of the living. This whole week is dedicated to the mothers of the living. This whole week is dedicated. Because when I look up in Chicago, a couple weekends ago, about a month ago, 69 shot, one weekend. I look up in Huntsville, Alabama, violence. Oakwood student shot and killed last week. I look at Huntsville again, with my other son, James, Big Willie. At James Old High School, Columbia High, in January, 19-year-old, same age as my other son, shot in the head and killed, dead in Huntsville. Violence. And y'all walking around as the living testimonies, the living witnesses to the antidote. Because you've had access to the power of the mother of the living all your lives. And all you have to do is touch and agree with me. And spit the Havila bars and distribute and take back control of your Emmanuel hoods. What is an Emmanuel? You created in the image of Elohim. Emmanuel is Elohim. The E in Emmanuel stands for Elohim. Emmanuel. What well? What well? The living water. The living water of life. The mother of the living is the well. He met the woman at the well and said, yo, if you knew who you was talking to, you would ask me for a drink. I'm telling you, my son, you've been drinking from the fountain of a living water all your life. And we owe it. We owe it to every auntie, every sister, every cousin, every friend, every loved one, to give them the Mary Heart medicine and stop allowing the anti-Bible belt, the anti-Christ, the anti-man, the anti-woman, the anti-child, fake imposters, fake first responders. Why do I talk like this? Because just in Clearwater, Florida, a European, older male runs up on a vehicle that he sees parked in a parking spot. It's a woman. It's a mother of the living. African Nubian mother of the living. He runs up on the car and he's beefing about her sitting there, pulling up, sitting in a handicapped parking spot. Now y'all can do that Themis Dyke fake injustice system reasoning and try and justify the fact that he ran up on a female sitting in a parking spot. Her 6-year-old son and her husband go into the store. Her husband comes out and sees a grown adult male standing at his wife's door and removes the threat. The man has a gun in his pocket, so he is a threat to her. The man had a gun in his pocket. A defenseless African female sitting in the car. The husband pushes him away from pushes the threat away. Not a punch, and steps back to the door. The man falls to the ground, reaches in his pocket, and shoots the man, and he dies in front of his son. And just like George Zimmerman, because heart of Florida, the anti-Bible Belt, anti-Christ, anti-man, anti-woman, anti-child, injustice system of Themis, the Dyke. Remember, Dr. Martin Luther King said, injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere. The U.S. injustice system is a threat to every household. The U.S. banking system, the U.S. federal government is a threat to every estate. The state is a threat to every estate. You were given promised land estates. But when you don't know how to claim your will, and son, what I'm telling you to do is just claim whose you are, who you are, claim your throne, claim your crown, and automatically your will kicks in. Automatically the antidote is administered, because they can only do to you what you allow them to do when you do not redeem your will. We're going to show y'all in the heart of Florida. We're going to show y'all right here all week long, from Winter Haven to Haines City to Point Siena to Kissimmee and over to Davenport. Monday, Tuesday. You can register. All right? You can register with us and go through the Havilah Gold Rush. The Havilah Gold Rush. We're sitting on a gold mine. We're going to show y'all how to mine it. We're going to show y'all how to mine the Mary Heart medicine. We're going to teach your children how to touch and agree with the training program, with the pipeline training program that we put it in place, and put our oldest and our youngest is going through it right now. And you ladies can sit back like my wife, who speaks Havilah bars into our lives, raises the Havilah bar. And all we have to do is touch and agree and apply the Mary Heart medicine. We're going to show y'all how to do it. If you're a single parent woman, listen. This kingdom, these plots of land are built on the cornerstone. It's 4 corners. $40 for individuals. For couples, it's $80. $40 for the male, $40 for the female. $160 total covers male, female, and all children in the household. Cover the whole family. Mary Heart medicine. I will give you the desires of your heart, Mother of the living. And fathers of the living will be the deliverer. Will be the postmen making the delivery of the Mary Heart medicine. Right here in Central Florida, we're going to make this the headquarters. We're taking back over the heart of Florida. We are the heart of Florida. No more bad blood. There are 3 types of blood. I'll say this and let y'all listen. I know a little thing about blood transfusions. I know a little thing about hearts and hearts pumping. The one thing we have that no one else has, that the Mother of Living has, is the well, springing forth to life everlasting. Emmanuel, the water of life. The latter rain, the former rain, the water of life. Bad blood, tainted water. That's what they have. When you need a blood transfusion, you can't have no bad blood. You got type A blood, you got type O blood. O is the universal. O is the mother of the, O represents the mother of the living. The A is the alpha. The O represents omega. The B represents the bad blood. The fake Greek mythology blood. The bad blood. And my blood brother's keeper blood. The blood spillers. Well, this is a bad blood audit. We got the antidote for the violence. And we going around the country showing our people how to mine this gold mine, this Xavier gold rush. Because that's one of the main components of a merry heart. Poverty. The poverty, the health, the violence, and the destruction of the family. We put those 4 things back together through the Father's Wish New Deal. And I guarantee you get your Emmanuel hoods back. All Emmanuel means God dwells with us. That's what Emmanuel means. When you hear the Creator's name, Emmanuel, it means God dwells with us. Your E-Man, Elohim man. My sons in Huntsville, I'm coming. My sons in Huntsville. That's your lane. And them cats at the school obviously don't know how to put you on to your inheritance, so we coming. To my peoples on Greenside. To my peoples in Mason Court projects. To my peoples on Alabama A&M. To my peoples in Huntsville. We coming. The Rocket City is not talking about RPGs, rocket propelled grenade launchers. I'm the only RPG in Huntsville. I'm the only rocket propelled grenade launcher in Huntsville. We're not supposed to be wrestling with flesh and blood. We're not supposed to be beefing with each other, your brothers in flesh and blood. We're supposed to be demolishing the principalities. So when we coming to give you the antidote for the violence and then put the target on the right enemy. It's not your brothers. It's not Oakwood versus A&M. It's not East versus West. It's not Blood versus Crips. It's not Gangster Disciples versus Peace Stones. It's not Latin Kings versus Setters. Nah. It's Emmanuel versus the sons of Belial. It's the sons of God versus the principalities in the sons of Belial. We got the antidote for all of y'all in Central Florida. Come get it, man. Come get it. Get your Emmanuel Hood estates back. We're going to give them back to you. And then we're going to show you how to mine the gold, the silver, the diamonds, and the pearls. And each and every one of those members in your household. You're sitting on gold mines. And Columbia, D.C., and Lady Liberty, New York, and Themis, Dike. Blind injustice is robbing you of your inheritance. It's time to get it back. This Dr. Life, in the business of saving lives, hollering at my main man, the Divine Shadow, Xavier. My main man, Big Willie, King of the Killer Pods, James Lake. Hollering at my baby girl, Deja Kasai. The law of God is an inner beauty. The Xavier bricks built storehouse. Layish beauty. All day long. My 19 and 21 year olds, all 3 of them about to be coronated. That's why I'm talking to y'all. And they not going to get them crowns by themselves. We coronating 1600 right along with them. Each and every one of them got a crew of 1600 that's going to get the crown with them. All y'all got to do is register. We're going to show you how to mine this, tap into these mines and get this Havilah gold rush. Peace.